Applications and disadvantages of single phase induction motor. Okay, first applications. Single phase induction motors are very wide use in industry, especially for in fractional horsepower field. Fractional horsepower field. So the single phase induction motors are used in industry. That's called small load applications. Fractional horsepower field applications only. Single phase induction motors are used. They are extensively used for electrical drive for low power constant speed operators such as machine tools, okay, machine tools and domestic machine tools, domestic operators and agricultural machinery. Okay, so these are the different type of applications of single phase induction motor. Then single phase induction motors are size vary from 1001 by 400 kilowatts to 1 by 25 kilowatts. Are used in toys. Okay, single phase induction motors are used in toys and hair dryers, toys, hair dryers, vending machines, etc. So these are the simple applications of single phase induction motor. So on that, so one of the motor that is called universal motor is widely used in portable tools, vacuum cleaners, and kitchen equipments. Universal motor. So this is operating for AC and DC both. Okay, so one type of single phase induction motor. This is okay. So these are the different type of applications of single phase induction motor. And then disadvantages also there. These machines are useful for small outputs. Machines are very output is very small. Okay, small outputs is used. They are not used for large power as suffer from many disadvantages and never used in case of three-phase machines can be opted. The main disadvantage of single-phase induction motors are their output is only 50% of three-phase motors for a given frame size and temperature rise. Okay, the output is only 50% of the three-phase motor. Compared to three-phase motor, the output is only 50% for a given frame size and temperature rise. This is one of the disadvantages. And next, they have low power factor. Operating power factor of this induction machine, single phase induction machine, is very less. Okay, and lower efficiency. Efficiency also very less. That means losses are more. Okay, losses are more means efficiency is also less. These motors do not have inherent starting torque. Okay, single phase induction motors is not a self-starting machine. Okay, single phase induction motor is not a self-starting, but a three-phase induction motor is self-starting because of rotating magnetic field developed in stator winding itself. Okay, but in a single phase induction motor, some auxiliary equipment is required to start the motor. Okay, some auxiliary components are required to start the single phase induction motor. It is not a self-starting motor. Okay, so that is called a capacitor. That is called condenser. Is connected to this fan. Fan is called as a single phase induction motor. That condenser is, if the condenser is there, it will start itself. Otherwise, so at starting we have to rotate by using some stick. Otherwise, and okay, then only this motor is rotating. Okay, so we have to rotate by hand the fan for starting, and then it will rotate. Okay, if this condenser is not working properly, okay, that is called capacitor. Condenser is nothing but a capacitor. Okay, that is called auxiliary equipment. Auxiliary equipment, that is called winding. Auxiliary winding or auxiliary equipment. Okay, three single phase induction motor is not a self-starting, and single phase induction motor more expensive than three-phase motor of the same output. More expensive than three-phase motors of the same output. Okay, low overload capacity. Okay, these are the different types of disadvantages of single phase induction motor, applications and the disadvantages of single phase induction motor. And the construction of a single phase induction motor. So construction on that stator construction same as a three phase induction motor, but here single phase winding, only single phase winding. Either maybe R phase or I phase or B phase. Okay, this is called stator core. Okay, this is called stator core. Okay, in that stator core, there are different type of slots are there. Okay, these slots are used to place the winding. Okay, this called slot. These are slot. Slots are used to place the winding in a stator. To handle the stator winding, these slots are used. Okay, and it's called stator laminations. This is called stator laminations. Okay, stator laminations, and this is called a shaft of the induction motor, single phase induction. Okay, and this is called air gap. So this is called air gap of single phase induction motor. The same as three phase induction motor. It's called air gap. Okay, and between stator and rotor is a rotating part. No? It is a rotating part. That's why there is no mechanical connection between these two. Then only this rotor is rotating freely. Otherwise, the rotation is not possible. Okay, this is called air gap, and this is called rotor laminations, and so that means same as transformer. This core of the transformer is not made by single solid material. No? Same here also. So by using different type of strips connected together, and then form a core of this rotor core of the transformer. An induction machine. Stator core and rotor core can be formed by using different type of strips. So on that one strip to another strip, there is a lamination to reduce the eddy current losses. Understood? To reduce the eddy current losses, the laminations are used, rotor laminations and stator laminations. Okay, and rotor slots, and also this rotor is having also slots. Okay, the rotor slots. So rotor slots not equal to the stator slots. Okay, so if the number of rotor slots is equal to stator slots, there may be a possibility of magnetic locking between stator and rotor. So it may cause to refuse the starting of the induction motor. Okay, it is very difficult to start the induction motor if the stator slots equal to the rotor slots. Okay, so that's why it's different. Stator slots and rotor slots are different. But poles of the stator poles is equal to the rotor poles. Compulsory, there must be stator poles is equal to rotor poles. Then only their motor is rotating. Poles must be same. Either may be stator or rotor. Stator pole must be equal to the rotor poles. Okay. So this is the construction of the single phase induction motor. And working of single phase induction motor, the working principle of a single phase induction motor, and a single phase induction motor inherently not self-starting can be shown easily. So single phase induction motor is not a self-starting. Okay. So this concept can be explained by using two different type of fields theories. Okay, single phase induction motor is not a self-starting. So why it is not self-starting? This concept can be explained by using two theories. So one double revolving field theory and cross field theory. By using these two theories, you can understand the concept of why single phase induction motor is not self-starting. Okay, why single phase induction motor is not self-starting can be understood by using double revolving field theory and cross field theory. Okay, cross field theory is somewhat difficult to understand. Double wheel failure is very easy to understand. That's why. So we have to concentrating on double revolving field theory. Okay. So by using this theory, you can easily understand why single phase induction motor is not self-starting. Okay. this theory, double wheel revolving theory. This theory makes use the idea of alternating uniaxial quantity can be represented by two oppositely rotating vectors of magnitude. Okay, so in this theory, for understanding of this theory, so we have to concentrating on two vectors, that is called oppositely rotating vectors of magnitude. Okay, so like this one vector and this is called another vector. So the magnitude of these two vectors is half of the main. So pi m by 2. So A is called one vector rotating field and another vector. Okay. Okay. This is called total pi m and this is half of the magnitude of this total. Okay. It is rotating in one direction and it is rotating in another direction, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Okay. So accordingly, an alternating sinusoidal flux can be represented by two revolving fields, two revolving fluxes, each equal to half of the value of alternating flux and each rotating at synchronous speed, ns is equal to 120 f by p. Okay, so that is called synchronous speed. Okay, each equal to half of the value of alternating flux and each rotating at a synchronous speed, that is called ns is equal to 120 f by p and opposite direction. Okay, this field is rotating in one direction and this field is rotating another direction. Two opposite fields, but rotating at synchronous speed and opposite direction. As shown in figure A, so this is called figure A. Okay, let the alternating flux have a maximum value of flux pi m. Alternating flux maximum value of pi m. It is its components fluxes are A and B will be each equal to pi m by 2. This is called pi m by 2 and this is called another pi m by 2. It's rotating opposite direction, revolving anti-clockwise and clockwise direction respectively. This is called anti-clockwise and clockwise direction. Okay, A field is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, B field is rotating clockwise direction. Respect. Okay. After some time, when A and B would have rotated through a angle theta, after some time, so the angle this is rotated and this is rotated at an angle theta. So plus theta and minus theta. Okay, through angle plus theta and minus theta as in figure B. Okay, the resultant flux will be 2a cos alpha by 2, 2m parallelogram. No? 2 into pi m by 2 into this called magnitude of this nothing but pi m by 2. Okay, and cos angle between these two nothing but 2 theta. Here theta and here theta. 2 theta by 2. Then pi m cos theta. Okay. After quarter cycle of rotation of fluxes A and B will oppositely directed as shown in figure C. Okay, after quarter cycle. So year to year. And then this is in this direction and this is in the direction. Okay, so that the resultant flux would be 0. Okay, the resultant flux will be 0. So after quarter cycle. After some angle, the resultant flux will be after angle theta, the resultant flux will be pi m cos theta. After quarter cycle, the resultant flux will be 0. Because of this flux is same magnitude, pi m by 2, here pi m by 2, here minus pi m by 2. The resultant flux will be 0. Okay. So then coming to the after half cycle, up to here quarter cycle, quarter cycle, then here up to half cycle. After half cycle, flux A and B will have a resultant of minus 2 pi m by 2. That is called minus pi m. Okay, here minus pi m by 2 and minus pi m by 2. Okay, minus pi m by 2, here minus pi m 2, then minus 2 pi m by 2, then resultant flux is nothing but minus pi m. After 3 quarters of cycle, again the result is 0 as shown in figure. Again, this is in this direction and this is in the direction. And then resultant flux will be 0. Then curve is similar to the route shown in figure F, this like this. Okay, the curve will be like this. So pi m cos theta. No? So pi m cos theta, that's why it is starting from at 0 instant. So maximum. And then it's like a same as like cos waveform. Okay. So that's why this alternating flux can be looked upon this composed of two revolving fluxes, each of the value, and revolving synchronous in the opposite directions. Understood? So this rotating magnetic field here, magnetic field is not in a circular manner. It's not rotating in a circular. Okay, so rotating like this, it's like cos theta. Okay, opposite directions. Understood? So that's why this single phase induction motor is not starting. This is called torque speed characteristics of single phase induction motor. Okay, torque versus speed characteristics of single phase induction. At the time of starting, the speed is 0. That's why torque is 0. So torque is slowly is increasing. Okay, this is called resultant torque. This torque is slowly increasing. So this is called torque due to forward field, and the torque due to this is called torque due to backward field. This is called torque due to forward field, and this is called torque due to backward field. At this case, there is resultant torque 0. Okay, the backward torque is equal to the forward torque, then resultant torque is equal to 0. Okay, so we can understand this concept by using one mathematical theory of the synchronous single phase induction motor based on one formula. You know, there is relation, the power is equal to torque into omega. Okay, so in this why single phase induction motor is not starting. Why single phase induction motor is not self-starting. Okay, by using the derivation, you can easily understand the concept why single phase induction motor is not self-starting. You know this power relation. So based on the torque, so we have to find the why single phase induction. So why the resultant torque is 0. Okay, you know the relation power is equal to, so torque into omega. Am I right? Power is equal to torque into omega. And then what is the torque here? Torque is equal to power divided by omega. Am I right or not? Torque is equal to power divided by omega. Am I right? And you know power for 3 phase. So what is the power formula in 3 phase? Power is equal to 3 I2 square into 3 I2 square into R2. I2 square into R2 into 1 by S minus 1. This is for 3 phase. Okay. If it is for single phase, there is no 3. This is for single phase. Okay. For 3 phase, they multiply 3 for single phase. So I2 square into R2 into 1 by S minus. Then, so omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60. You know well, omega is equal to 2 pi n divided by 60. Substitute this power and torque, power and omega, and this. Then torque will become, torque is equal to power is how much? So 60 divided by 2 pi n. Am I right? 60 divided by 2 pi n. And power I2 square into R2 into 1 by S minus 1. Okay, so you know well, rotor speed NR is equal to rotor speed NR is equal to NS into 1 minus S. Am I right? Rotor speed of a single phase induction motor or a 3 phase induction motor, whatever it may be. So rotor speed is equal to NS into 1 minus S. Am I right? And substitute here, this is called rotor speed. And substitute here, and we will get torque is equal to, so 60 divided by 2 pi NR. NR is equal to NS into 1 minus S. And I2 square into R2 into, so 1 minus S divided by S. Am I right? Here 1 minus S and here 1 minus S cancel. And then so it will become torque is equal to 60 divided by 2 pi ns I2 square into R2 divided by S. Okay, 2 pi ns into I2 square into R2. Then this term is a constant. 60 divided by 2 pi ns is constant. Right, 60 divided by 2 pi ns constant. Then torque is equal to K into I2 square into R2 divided by S. So this is the formula. Okay, torque is equal to. So what is the slip here? Slip is equal to ns minus nr divided by ns. Slip formula. And then slip is equal to 1 minus ns nr divided by ns. And then nr divided by ns is equal to 1 minus s. Am I right? Remember this, nr by ns is nothing but 1 by n, 1 minus. And then the torque due to forward field. Okay, torque due to forward field. Torque due to forward field is given by Tf. That is called Tf. And slip also Sf. Okay, slip is also Sf. Torque is called Tf and slip is nothing but S. Then torque Tf is equal to K into I2 square into R2 divided by Sf. So forward slip, then Sf is nothing but. So and forward slip is nothing but. So the rotation of the rotor is clockwise direction. Okay, the rotor rotation is clockwise direction. That's why nr is positive. And then slip is equal to ns minus nr divided by ns. So that is much but s only. Forward slip is nothing but sf is equal to s. Is it clear? And then torque due to backward field. Next torque due to backward field. Torque due to backward field. So that is called TB, backward field. Okay, and slip is also SB. So backward slip is called SB. Forward slip here SF. And then so backward torque is opposite direction. That's why minus. Okay, and K into I2 square into R2 divided by S. Okay, so why? Because this is opposite direction, anti-clockwise direction. And here, so what is the rotor rotation? So because of this backward torque, the rotor rotation is opposite direction, counterclockwise. Okay, here clockwise. Okay, here counterclockwise. That's why it's a negative. Rotor is indicated by negative. And then slip is equal to, so what is the slip here? Backward slip ns minus nr. Nr is nothing but minus nr, no? Divided by ns. Okay, so it's nothing but ns plus nr divided by So total ns, and then so ns by ns 1 plus nr divided by ns. Then you know relation nr divided by ns is nothing but 1 minus s from here. Okay, nr by ns is equal 1 minus s. Substitute here. nr by ns is equal 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus, then 2 minus. So that is called backward slip. So backward slip is equal to 2 minus s. Substitute here the backward slip. So TB is equal to minus k into I2 square into R2 divided by. Okay. So what is SB here? So backward slip, that is called 2 minus s. Okay. So 2 minus s. This is called backwards. And then resultant torque. So what is the resultant torque? Resultant torque. So resultant torque is nothing but T. So let us assume TR. Resultant torque is nothing but forward torque plus backward. Okay. So then resultant torque TR is equal to, what is the forward torque here? K into I2 square into R2 by S only. Forward torque. Yeah. By substituting SG, FSF is equal to S. Yeah. K into I2 square into R2 divided by S. K into I2 square into R2 divided by S. And the backward torque. So this is the backward. Then minus K into I2 square into R2 divided by 2 minus S. This is called a resultant torque. Okay. This is called a resultant torque of single phase induction motor. And then at starting, so what is the slip? At starting, slip is equal to ns minus nr divided by ns, and rotor speed is equal to 0. Okay, then slip is equal to 1 at starting. Then substitute here in this equation at starting. So what is the torque here? Torque is equal to resultant torque K into I2 square into R2 by 1. Slip is equal to 1, and minus K into I2 square into R2 by 2 minus, and then 1. And then torque is equal to 0. The resultant torque is equal to 0 at the time of starting of single phase. That's why the single phase induction motor is not self-start. Is it clear? Understand? So the resultant torque is developed in a single phase induction motor is 0 at time of starting because of forward fill and backward fill. The torque is cancel each other, then resultant torque is 0. That's why single phase induction motor is not self-starting. So according to the double field revolving. First, power is equal to torque into omega, then power is equal to I2 square into R2 divided by 1 minus S. That's 1 per single phase. Substitute omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60, and so then nr is equal to ns into 1 minus s rotor speed, and then cancel 1 minus s, and then we'll get the torque equations like this. After that, the forward field, torque due to forward field, that is called SF. So SF is nothing but ns minus nr by ns. So positive side rotations. That's why rotor speed is positive. That's why same as slip S. SF is equal to S. S. Substitute here, so the forward torque is nothing but K into I square into R2 by S. Then torque due to backward field. So backward torque is nothing but opposite direction. This torque is opposite direction. That's why minus K into I square into R2 by S B. Here rotor speed is opposite direction, that is counterclockwise direction, that is a negative. So substitute here backward slip, then you will get 2 minuses. That means this rotor slip under backward direction, that's called 2 minuses. Okay, then substitute here you will get. So the resultant torque is nothing but forward torque plus backward torque, and then resultant torque is equal to 0. So that's why single phase induction motor is not self-starting. Understood? Single phase induction motor is not self-starting, so that's why the starting methods are required. Okay, in single phase induction motor, starting methods are required. So these are the different type of methods. Single phase induction motor with the main stator winding has no inherent starting torque, since main winding introduces only stationary and pulsating area flux wave for the development of starting torque. Okay, rotating in air gap field at starting must be introduced. Okay, several methods are there. So to start the induction motor, so first one is split space in starting, shaded pole starting method, a repulsion motor starting method, reluctance starting methods. So these are the different types of starting methods of single phase induction motor. Okay, so split phase in the rotating motor in this method. So there are in the split phase starting method. This single phase induction motor is started by using resistor split phase motors and capacitor split phase motors and capacitor start and run split phase motors and capacitor run motors. These are the different types of methods under split phase starting methods. Okay, resistor split phase motors and capacitor split phase motors and capacitor start and capacitor run motors and capacitor run motors. Okay, these are the different types of split phase starting methods of single phase induction motor. So then we have to discuss one by one. So the starting methods of single phase induction.